How many personal trainers, weight loss experts and fitness gurus know what it feels like to have a weight problem? I know I don't. But I've had great motivation to stay in shape. For a decade, my livelihood has depended on it. Booking jobs in one of the most ruthless industries, the world of international modelling, has meant training every day and staying as healthy and energised as possible to handle the demands. I've even created my own training and eating plans to stay ahead of the thousands trying to compete with me. And since becoming a personal trainer, I've been able to transfer this experience to my clients with great success. But for all the success stories, what impact has it had on the wider problem of obesity? I read a report recently that said even though more than 2/3 of Australian adults are now either overweight or obese, more than half believe they're in a healthy weight range. Not only are we getting fat, we're in denial about it. Are we missing something? Are people now happy to be fat? Only a few weeks ago, one of my very overweight clients cancelled his 3rd training session in a row. I called him and said, just follow what I'm telling you for 3 months and I'll show you great results. He said, follow my lifestyle for 6 months and I'll show you why I can't. So that's what I'm going to do. On January 1st, I'm going to spend 6 months getting as fat as I can to experience it for myself. No training, no exercise, no food restrictions. My target is to go from 80 kilos all the way up to 120. Then, from July 1st, I'm going to spend 6 months coming back again. Over the next 12 months, I'm going fat and back.
So what are you aiming for when you do this documentary?
120.
That's fucking massive.
It's 50% of my body weight.
How tall are you?
6'2".
That's massive.
120 is not massive for 6'2".
Yeah, but for your
It's
size,
massive for 80 kilos to go to 120. I've never hit triple figures, ever.
and then you're bringing it back to show people that they can do it. I respect that.
And then we're going to...
Are you going to exercise still?
No, I'll quit exercise as of today.
See, I'm really worried about. I really do think that. I don't know. I think exercise is one
It's
thing
going to
that
be
makes
hard
me
being
really
in the
happy.
gym 40 hours a week and not training, but watching everyone else get in shape.
Will you do things like go out for a walk?
No, there's no exercise. I've quit exercise. I'll walk to my car.
I don't think that's considered exercise.
And that's as much as I'll do.
2, 1!
There's another one up top.
Yeah. Surprisingly, 5 minutes after, I feel like I could eat more. I realise now I've got to go hard. I've got to go really hard. For me to get to 120, I've got to eat a lot of food.
Up top! Right up top. Yeah.
He's gonna spew! He's gonna choke!
I don't want to be spewed on.
I think you're loving it.
I am. 40 kilos, I'll put it on, I'll switch it on, I'll be back to normal by the end of this year.
Right throughout evolution, right throughout history, the 1 million or 2 million years of human evolution and then the evolution before that, it was important to be able to store energy in the good times to help you get through the bad times. And there were always feasts and famines right throughout history. This last 50 years has been the only real time in history where we haven't had those feasts and famines. And those people who store more fat to get them through the famines genetically have been at an advantage historically. So we have come through the evolutionary cycle with a tremendous genetic capacity to be able to store energy.
Now we're faced with an environment where calories are getting cheaper and cheaper. Everything is more and more calorically dense. The portion sizes are getting bigger and bigger over the years. We seem to want more and more and more. We have the thrifty gene working for us, so we can save every calorie that comes in, and so we just get bigger and bigger.
Although my training has stopped, I haven't stopped training my clients. And as they get fitter, their trainer is getting fatter. I'm not liking it at the moment. It's been another week. Put on 15 kilos. I'm just not feeling good. 10 more faces there. All the staff here and all the regular clients have got a bet going on. One of the people said I'd quit in 2 weeks. I've had 3 weeks, 8 weeks. There's only one person that's backed me to go to the end, as far as I know so far. And that's Tony, the owner of the gym.
When he initially came to me with this idea to do this, I said this is going to be huge. And when you compare it to other kind of documentary, dietary type experiment things that people have done, this is a whole new level. Nobody's given up what you've got to do this, and if you make it back to 90% of what you were after getting that fat, and you get fat enough to carry it through and document it properly, I think it'll be massive.
I think it will give him a great insight into how an obese person feels. However, as a friend, I'm quite concerned about his health and what it will do to his body.
If he puts on these 40 kilograms, I think he'll get a very rude shock.
At the end of the day, PJ's a vain person. I think as soon as probably 10 kilos of mud comes on him, he's just going to go, oh my God, what have I done? And then back out, and then no one's even going to see this. No one's going to see this whole documentary. So pretty much I'm talking to you for absolutely no reason at all.
A random guy from a gym puts on 40 kilograms and loses it. As an idea, I just don't think it'll sell. I don't think anyone cares.
Look, I thought it would make sort of a bit of local news, a filler, on a quiet day, but I had no idea that I was just going to go, take 2 days and go to places like, where's it been, like New Zealand, Canada, UK. Got America next week. I'm just really disappointed. Strange, I know, because I'm doing this for a purpose, but I'm just disappointed with myself. 15 years of training has just come undone in 2 months. Can't believe it. I feel pretty average at the moment. I was really upbeat the first 4 weeks. It was like I could eat anything indestructible, Like I'm getting all these things on my skin. These bumps, all the toxins, I'm really worried about that. Stressing about the stretch marks.
Your waist measurement has increased.
I started off at 81.
81, it's officially 111 centimetres. You are now 102 kilos.
So what's that, 22 kilos in 8 weeks?
I'm impressed. Your cholesterol is not too bad. The total cholesterol is 5.6. I'd expect it to be less than 5.5, which it is around. The bad cholesterol is 3.4.
Okay.
So in a low-risk individual, less than 2.5 would be more acceptable. You've gained a lot in the last few weeks since I've seen you, so I wouldn't be surprised if the liver isn't getting more congested with fat. So we should repeat that. The accumulation of fat in the liver and the fat around the gut will increase his risk for metabolic syndrome, which is a pre-diabetic condition. So he's putting himself at increased risk for cardiovascular disease by doing this.
The fat cells that we have in the body, and we have a certain amount of them, fill up as you put on extra weight.
Not only does it store fat, but it also puts out chemicals that do other things. And the smaller fat cells put out chemicals that we think are very good for us. And big fat cells put out what we think of as more pro-inflammatory type chemicals. And it's thought that a lot of those chemicals interfere with insulin activity and causes insulin resistance, which is a very large part of the problem that we see with obesity.
Which then causes type 2 diabetes, which causes heart disease. All the other problems come from that.
I thought it was a good idea, but they said, well, what about your body? What will happen?
Because knowing how proud Paul is of his body, and he works really hard to keep it in shape and that, when he first told us that he was going to put on so much weight, well, first his body, and then the main thing was his health.
Once you start liking food, you've got to be very, very disciplined not to continue eating as much.
But knowing Paul and how strong he is in character, he won't let that happen. He'll go back to his good eating habits.
hopefully.
Not stretching at all.
You started using that baby oil shit that you...
Yeah, it's the best stuff. That's what pregnant women use. Bio oil. Scars, stretch marks, uneven skin tone, aging skin, dehydrated skin. During pregnancy, apply twice daily from the first trimester. I'm about the first trimester. There's no way known that these fit. They're just tight. There's no way I'd get embarrassed wearing those, and they're all tight as well, so seriously, none of these. No chance. I'm gonna have to do a shop. Definitely have to do a shop. 40? Apparently they don't have 40s on the rack. Gotta go at the back. There's nothing really suitable here. Oh, here we go. That's ideal. Every big guy needs a Hawaiian shirt. What do you reckon?
That's so much better.
Reckon I look alright. Are they slimming?
Did you honestly reckon you were going to get through this with no repercussions? Up here, like, even though it's really sore, this is probably more from inactivity as well as it is. Whereas down here, it's more to do with the weight on the front part. He's got a bit of junk in the trunk as well, so.
Oh, that hurts.
Definitely stretch marks.
Huh?
It's definitely stretch marks.
Where?
There is.
There's no stretch marks.
No,
I've had this looked at.
Yeah, you can see. Well, can we zoom in on those? Can you show them later? Actually, I'll do this. Look at those bad boys.
Do they go?
Huh? I'm on myo, mate. I'm not a dermatologist.
I'm eating a lot more now. I'm making really poor choices, but I'm not doing it intentionally. It's just grown on me. It's something that I'm scared that I enjoy it too much, that I won't be able to come back. And I thought this morning, do I really want to do this? Halfway, I'm ready to, I've had enough. Seriously, like, I just don't want to live like this. As soon as I felt down, I felt myself just wanting food. What do you want? You don't eat it, huh?
If you go out and you're faced with a smorgasbord of food, it's difficult for somebody who's got a craving hunger level that's based around their genetic predisposition to say, well, I'm not going to eat that.
For many years, we thought that people who are obese ate less than lean people. And based on self-reports, when you ask a person to list what they've eaten, obese people list less. When we actually got them into clinical research centres, we found that many obese people ate a lot more than lean people, but they seem to be unaware of it. And we believe that the reason for this has a bit to do with a hormone called leptin. Leptin is released by fat cells. It tells the brain how much fat a person has stored on them. So as a person gains weight, the amount of leptin in their blood increases. One of the things leptin does is it helps the brain detect how full the stomach is. We call this the stretch signal. When a person carries high levels of body fat for long periods of time, the body, and in particular the brain, becomes resistant to the effects of leptin. And that means that after any given meal, the stomach stretch signal in an obese person is likely to be less intense than the stomach's stretch signal in a lean person. So people who are obese and leptin resistant might need to eat more food to achieve the same levels of satiety as a lean person does. I think for obese people, their brain isn't perceiving those signals the same way a lean person's brain does. And so it's not fair to just say, well, that should be enough.
Most people would eat this though and not think anything of it. It's got a bit of meat, bit of veg, bit of rice, all the essentials. Especially in the city or in shopping centres, that's the only choice people have got. You look around, everything's pretty unhealthy.
The fact that this occurred in all wealthy countries at about the same time, with a few exceptions, Japan's a notable exception, but most countries, it just went up.
If it's a problem that's only arisen in the last 20 years, that would suggest that it's an environmental problem.
And it's almost certainly the global food environment. Now, our built environment doesn't change that fast or that simultaneously, but what's changed absolutely out of sight is our food environment.
See, these are the best. No preparation apart from heating it up and eating it. This is one thing that I think I'm probably not going to stop eating. Going to have to work out how I can include that in my diet. You know, since New Year's Eve, I haven't drank any water. I get it from other sources though. Otherwise, I'd be dead, wouldn't I?
You know, the prices have come down dramatically, especially of junk food in relative terms. Food is absolutely everywhere. You know, petrol stations just used to sell petrol. The products now, they know what our taste buds like. They like fat, sugar and salt, so they process the foods and that's what they stick in.
Garlic bread, I love garlic bread.
And the promotion has been much more sophisticated now than it ever was.
See, they put these things at the end of the aisle. Methods are working.
And what do you know? We just respond. We're just creatures of our environment.
Gee, these are on special too.
To be frank, the market that we've created in the food sector is not serving our needs. It's giving us obesity and diabetes and that sort of thing. So it does need more regulation than it currently has because it's not delivering the goods. It's delivering obesity.
I don't really need that, to be honest. I'll just get one. I'm actually excited about this trolley and getting it home, and you get excited about setting it out in the cupboard so you know where everything is. One thing I need is new jocks. Underwear model buys his jocks at the supermarket. Can you do it? No. Yes. They're not going to fit me.
What are the things that you're hooked on now?
Dairy is my big thing, and sugar. More than fat. But seriously, if you look at that fridge, I reckon it's pretty similar to what you'd find in most houses. It's not that over the top. Glad I remembered that. This stuff, I go through a lot more than I used to. I'm starting to feel the physical effects of the weight gain, but I'm still confident in my ability to come back. And I want to bring someone back with me.
The first time I lost weight, I don't think I was ready to. Sounds like a bit of a cop-out, but when you've been fat all your life and you suddenly get very, very thin, people's perception of you is very different, and it can be a little bit disconcerting. Certainly was for me. In fact, frightened the shit out of me. So I very conveniently just stacked all the weight back on during a trip to Japan. So I went from 108, 74, and left for Japan at 74, came home from Japan over 121. I'm pissed off because I've got the skill to play better, but not the fitness to make it back to the ball on time. And when we were doing that sort of mock game, it was me that requested the water break. Well, I was standing over there near the wall there, and I was just like, I think I'm going to vomit, I think I'm going to implode, I think I'm going to explode, and I could barely stand up. Whilst I think what PJ's done is unhealthy in the drastic nature of it, I've done it 3 times, and I reckon there's other people that have done it because they either lack the knowledge, but in my case, I can't claim that. I have the knowledge. I cannot tell you why I've done it, apart from I have a very bad relationship with food. And I don't think about it, and you sort of get to the point where you've put on that much weight anyway that it doesn't really matter if you have another Turkish delight because you're already a fat person.
"10 kilos from my target and only 2 months to go. It's getting harder and harder to gain weight. I'm losing muscle, so although I'm getting fatter, I'm not getting heavier, and strange things have started happening to my body." Yeah, last night I was freaking out. Went to bed not too late, about 11 o'clock. I was exhausted, and my heart was, I started feeling the whole left side of my body just went completely dead, and I was like, fuck. I thought I was having a stroke. I was really worried. I was actually going to ring the doctor and just say, something was wrong. So I got up, and the strange thing is when I got up I had some more snakes because I'd already had a packet of snakes. So I had another packet of snakes, went back to bed, and it sort of calmed down a little bit. So it wasn't the snakes. Yeah, it was a bit of a scare though. Apart from the physical aspect where you become overweight, there's so much more to it. There's so much more in the thinking, how you feel. It's all the emotional side that's the killer. I've got this fucking runny nose all the time. It's like fucking stuffy inside. I never used to get colds. I don't know if I'm going to continue with this. So the thing is, I knew that things like this would happen, but because I got no reference to say what would happen and how difficult it would be, I'm noticing all these things on a daily basis, and I know the doctor's worried as well. Just from me looking at myself, I'm not happy.
Your mood's changed, you're developing aches and pains. I don't see any more benefit. You've plateaued in terms of how much weight you can gain. I think you'll start to feel sick if you keep going.
So there comes a point where you can't put on any more weight?
It can be difficult, short of really severely force-feeding yourself and making yourself very sick. You're very tired. I think you look exhausted from when I met you last time.
So the thing is, maybe I just got to change the way I cook food. Like I've got to maybe mix it up.
In what way?
Like I went and bought a deep fryer. Mm-hmm. So I thought maybe having some deep fried food and then frying some stuff. I'm not happy with my body at the moment at all. I haven't been happy for a month or so with my body. But at the same time, I don't want to change how I eat.
Well, it's an emotional thing now. You've got into that emotional eating. So you've taught yourself to feel good with eating because it's unrestricted. You can have whatever you want. You can't be criticised.
Isn't there something that I can take to feel better and eat and just keep happy?
Many people want the answer in a pill, and I don't think you should go down that track. I think the best antidepressant for you is to eat normal food and go back to a healthier lifestyle and start exercising.
But then again, it's only 2 months. I can't do that much damage in 2 more months, can I?
How much more depressed do you want to get? How much more down do you want to get?
I think I owe it to myself and to everyone to keep going. I think it's really important that I keep going. I feel like I've got, although it's going to be hard, losing 40 kilos will be harder than losing 30.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I get an ultimate double Whopper, large meal with a just a normal Coke? Actually, I'll go Fanta.
Yeah, and it's large?
Yeah, large. And a caramel sundae, please.
Yeah, no worries, drive through.
Actually, can I also get a triple cheeseburger, just the burger? How easy was it to pick up this food?
How good does it feel when you eat it?
I feel great. Yeah, I feel great. It's like a void, and a void gets instantly filled. Junk food is not the only issue. It goes together with lack of exercise, lack of motivation. It's a joint thing and each feed off each other. So you eat junk food initially, or you make really poor choices in eating, you feel lethargic because you get an instant kick and then you get an instant dive. So then you don't feel like doing any sport, you don't feel like going for a walk, you don't feel like doing anything but sitting here on a couch and, watching time go by. It's a real tricky one, this.
Yeah, mine.
Oh, No, I ate mine in the car.
Yeah.
There's yours. Yeah. Sorry.
We talked to McDonald's, and we see them at meetings, and they're presenting, we have now a healthy alternative, which is, so chicken, lettuce, and so very few people go into McDonald's wanting that. They can't probably give it away. And I go to Burger King or Hungry Jack's, and I say the same thing. So where's your lettuce and so forth? McDonald's has. How come you don't have it? We can't even give it away. I could have the lettuce sitting there for free. Nobody would eat it.
That's how business operates. They're there for profit, and how they make profit is on consumption. They make more profit from overconsumption.
So, it's not them. They would do it. If there was a demand for a healthy meal, they saw that, with McDonald's, they grew their business because everybody wanted the healthy meal, then they would do it. They say, well, we better do the same thing. But they don't see that.
And it's the same reason that we're over-consuming in greenhouse gases is the same reason we're over-consuming food. That's the economic system that we've built, to over-consume, and that's what we're doing.
So that's what we want. Tastes good, and that's what we like. And I see no way out.
It scanned you at about 112 kilos. Might have missed a little bit, as you saw around the edges of the scan. You're a little bit big for our scanner.
Yep.
So you're about 32% body fat at the moment. Yeah, a lot of that fat is in your trunk area, your abdomen area.
He's a very goal-orientated person, and when he'd set this goal of becoming a particular weight at a particular time and he's just not getting there, he's getting to the point where he's just force-feeding himself, and his behaviour is becoming really erratic. He'll start binging all of a sudden on all these horrible foods, and then all of a sudden not eat, not talk to anyone, not go out. And it's frightening.
Hello. I tried all the pants on. I'm just sitting here eating Hungry Jack's.
Did you know that the doctor told him to stop?
Oh, not until you told me.
120 kilos, and what better way to show the transformation than to recreate the last photo shoot I did when I was in peak condition.
So we're back at Doherty's a year after we did the Ironman shoot. I've got all the clothes together that I used for the last shoot, and we're going to recreate the exact same shoot. So we've done the first one already, which was that one. That was a May edition of Ironman last year. Recreated that shoot already, and we're just about to move on to this. Really worried about these masks. They're not stretch marks, are you? I don't know.
PJ!
I'm already at my 120 kilos. I've been living like this for a while. And I've absolutely had enough. I'm stuffed. This is the worst I've felt ever in my life. And any overweight person that says they're totally happy, I really question that. It's not the be-all and end-all being fit, but it goes a long way to making you happy. There's no doubt.
You must be excited though that it's almost all over and you can come back.
Well, the thing is, I've really thought about this, and I can't be excited because I don't know what it's going to entail coming back. I've got no idea. I don't know how long. You've seen it in your clients? Yeah, I've seen it in my clients. And I've seen also how much I have to push my clients to get to somewhere. And I've also seen clients, fall off the rails and go back to where they started, and then I have to pick them up again.
The next month or two are going to be harder than the last 6 months. It's really going to mess with my head, knowing that, I'm going to be training and I'm not going to be seeing the results. Is the hardest part. I've never been nervous walking into a gym ever in my life. What we'll do today, we'll just ease into it, because I'm done.
That was 2 seconds.
That was 2 minutes.
2 minutes. And then you're up.
Huh?
Up down.
That's it for me. I've got to ease into it.
Now I know what people feel like the first time they walk into a gym. This is going to be a long road back.
See, the thing is, I've done it too long.
Too long?
Yeah. 6 months. People think it's it's 6 months. It's like 180 whatever days. It's a lot of, it's a long time. All this stuff, even though it may not look, wow, like huge, all that stuff's really hard to get rid of. I feel like junk food. I honestly feel like junk food. No joke. I'm not going to quit my training just to get junk food.
People are labelled alcoholics if they can't go without a day without a drink. Now, Australians that eat junk food every day, they're just called normal Australians, aren't they?
Tis, hey!
You guys are idiots.
What are you doing here? What's this? That one you got pizza?
Nah, it was left over.
Oh, you're still eating it. It doesn't matter if it's left over, you're still eating it.
Nah, it's the first day. I always said I was going to ease into it though.
When did you say that?
I said that at the start.
You're going to ease into the exercise.
This is, I swear to you, this is a one-off. One-off.
What'd you have for lunch?
One-off.
What'd you have for lunch today?
I didn't have lunch, that's why I'm hungry. Well, it's the first day.
No, so if you're failing already, you got no chance.
I'm not failing, I'm just easing off it, that's all. I've been all day, I haven't touched it.
What did you have for lunch?
Well, are you asking me because you know what I had for lunch, or do you want to know what I had for lunch?
No, I'm asking you because you're avoiding the question.
I didn't eat lunch.
Is that what?
This is bullshit. I had 2 pies for lunch.
If you go, all right, well, here's your choice for lunch. 3 pies or a chicken salad. What's better? He'll go, well, chicken salad. But what will he choose? The 3 pies. It's not about knowledge, it's about choices. What's better? Fruit juice or Coke? What will he choose? Coke. What's better? Beer or no beer? Will he drink beer? Of course he will. What's better, a meal this big for you or a meal that big? What will he eat? The big meal.
I'm starting. Today I've started. I made the first step.
But you ate 2 pies and a pizza.
Yeah, no. I haven't eaten the pizza, okay? You've ruined that.
You're going to eat the pizza.
I won't eat it.
Well, as soon as we're gone, you're eating that pizza.
I won't eat it.
That pizza could be 3 weeks old.
And not only that, if you're going to turn up and eat like that, randomly, you got to let me know. That's fair. They tested me already all day. All day.
What are they giving?
No, they were just eating in front of me. Someone went and got KFC, someone was talking about burgers.
Did they offer you?
It doesn't bother me. I'm not addicted to it.
Did they offer you any KFC?
Yeah.
And what'd you have?
I didn't touch
you didn't have one chip? Not one chip?
Not one.
After you had 2 pies, you didn't have one chip?
That was before I had 2 pies. I had to leave and get 2 pies because I didn't want junk food. That was the only thing that was available.
How's a pie not junk food?
It's those processes which seem to be very common across all of these kinds of, tobacco, alcohol, opiates, cocaine, all the dopaminergic drugs involved in that people abuse, amphetamines, methamphetamines, and food. High calorie foods do the same thing.
If you take a group of rats and you expose them to high sugar, high fat food, as well as their normal, nutritious, healthy food, then, they just enjoy it more than the other, and that they start, with time, they come to eat more of it. And after a while, many weeks, they start to exhibit compulsive feeding behaviour. And what they found later was that those animals had changes in the brain which were similar to the changes in the brain that occur with drug addiction.
And what we've found is that drug exposure, exposure to high-calorie foods and things like this, produce changes not just in the habitual circuitry by actually enhancing it, but causes a down-regulation in the circuitry that can inhibit it. And so the normal animal becomes actually abnormal in the sense that these habits are developing, but they just can't stop them.
Everyone makes mistakes. It's cool. It's no big deal. See what I'm doing. I've had a lot of calories. Today I've had a lot less calories. So I've actually lost weight, I believe. Maybe too much weight.
In one day.
It's been just over 2 weeks. I'm feeling all right. I've picked up my spirits amazingly well. So right throughout it, it's been difficult. The last few months was difficult before I started coming back. But as you can see, like with my clients, I give them a lot of energy and I'm really positive around them. One bonus, my energy level's up, like over the last few weeks, don't you reckon? Just jump on. Step on the back. 108.3, all right. Yep. Not bad. All right, let's go.
Hey. Aren't you going to jump on?
I'm not going to look at my weight anymore. That's it.
Just visual.
I'll jump on the scales and someone else can look at it. But I'm not going to rely on my weight any longer. But you know what I have noticed? All the crappy food, all that, I already feel way better not eating that stuff. So every now and then I might have a bit of bad food, but overall it's pretty good.
He's made improvements. He's not excessively eating bad foods, but he hasn't turned it around the way that he's claiming. I heard him get up about 3 in the morning and I thought he was sleepwalking or going to the toilet. I catch him with his head in the fridge looking for chocolate bars. So, yeah, he's doing well, but he needs to turn it around really, really quickly.
I think that he's gone further than any other personal trainer in terms of putting his own self in danger. He's certainly done a good thing. I think it's a positive thing to put yourself out there and actually practice what you preach, in that he's now losing weight and taking it off. For what reasons, I don't know. I know why I am. And it just happened that I happened to be losing or wanting to lose weight at the same time PJ was wanting to take someone back with him.
Hey Michelle.
Hey PJ,
how you going? Good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
So you ready to go?
I am.
Yeah? How you feeling? How are you feeling about the whole thing?
A little overconfident actually, which bothers me.
Have you always been overweight?
Yes.
Like your whole life?
Absolutely. I can give you an example of the diets I've made up myself and tried, diets I've read about and tried.
Yep. How drastic have you gone?
Well, I went to the crumpet diet.
The crumpet diet?
Yes. Which I invented myself.
You only ate crumpets?
Yep, crumpets, plain crumpets, lightly toasted, 2 a day. I became to hate food. I saw food as the reason that I was overweight.
Yep.
And it still is.
Yep.
But I began a really bad relationship where I went from loving food to absolutely hating it. So I convinced myself I wasn't hungry, and over time my body adjusted, and I could subsist and work on 2 crumpets and all these coffees, and a bit of Sudafed as well.
Sudafed as well?
Yeah, to keep me awake, and it certainly gave me the energy I needed to be able to run. And I lost weight so quickly. My doctor did a chart of it, he was pretty concerned, and my weight just went boom, like that. About 5 days later, I ended up in hospital to have emergency gallbladder surgery, which was apparently brought about due to rapid weight loss. Apparently I'd had the stones before when I lived in Korea and I was on the beer diet. After I came out of that, I thought the crumpet diet was probably not the best idea I've ever had, so I went to the iced coffee diet.
Iced coffee?
Yeah.
I love her however she is. She's my sister, so I'd probably like to get more involved, but I've always had gyms and she's always had weight issues and that hasn't worked out.
Of course, it's difficult for him to be a gym owner solely focused on that world and to have
not one, but 2 overweight sisters.
If she comes to me and says, look, I'm struggling, can I have your advice? I'd love to give it to her, but I think there's a real fine line between me being able to encourage Michelle and steer her in the right direction. There's a fine line between that and her feeling that I'm pressuring her and then using that as an excuse for failure.
Walking to the gym, I feel a bit sort of bad for Tony because I guess it looks bad from that perspective. And everybody in there is, no, I can't say everybody, but a lot of people in there have that perspective. So, you know, top gym owner has fat sister, probably doesn't, it surprises people like it surprised yourself. And, but I hope that I've provided a balance in saying, well, Tony didn't go out and get a university degree just because I've got one.
As I say, everyone's got different reasons, different journey, and I'd love to see her not to lose weight, but to develop a healthy lifestyle, you know, and if weight loss comes with that and she can achieve something great with PJ, I'd be really, really happy for her.
Michelle, how you going?
Yeah, good. Actually, I feel like shit, I've still got a cold.
Have you?
Yeah.
All right.
I think, I mean, I've got a reasonably healthy cupboard, but pizza and chocolate, I will not touch the cupboard and just go and get something.
It's not that bad. Where's the chocolate though?
Just none. We ate it.
You ate the chocolate? Oh, that's good. You're just getting ready? What's your biggest vice?
Chocolate.
Chocolate is?
Yep. Okay. Chocolate pizza.
Chocolate pizza?
Yeah.
Do you want to guess how much your waist is?
38.
38? Do you want to have a look?
I can't see.
47.
Oh my God. 47-inch waist.
You're a 47-inch waist.
Okay. Tissues.
What do you think you weigh? Roughly. Give us an
105.
exact. Give us an exact.
105.6.
105.6?
110 would be devastating.
What's bad?
105.
What's good? Surprisingly.
74.
Jump on.
Ow. Oh my God. 11.
No, that's 113.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. That is absolutely, no. That's terrible.
So that's 10 kilos more than you thought. And the reason I wanted to tell you was so that you know what you've got to lose now.
My God,
so you've got to make a big commitment. All right, 113 we're starting with.
Is that 112?
No, it's 113. Give me 3 months to work with you. Just follow what I say.
Okay.
And I'll educate you along the way so that you can do it yourself, because you don't want me there all the time. All right? All right, and if you really want something badly, you're a member of a 24-hour gym.
Yes.
So it depends how badly you want it, because the gym doesn't close. We start training on Monday.
Yay!
Looking forward to it. I reckon my weight's coming off really, really slowly. Much slower than I predicted. I thought I'd be doing 2 kilos a week easily. 109. I'm calling it 109. The thing is, what I don't know, because I've never put on this amount of weight, I don't know what my skin will go back to. That's a lot of skin. See, when all that fat goes, the skin's just going to sit.
Nah.
You don't reckon?
I don't reckon it's been long enough.
I'm just trying to do everything. Water, a lot of water.
Yeah.
See, I'm not doing cardio as well. That's the big thing. Cardio really helps with your skin. You can get into the correct weight, okay, without any cardio. No problem. Just eating really well and doing your weights.
It'll come in. Like, it may not be that tight, as tight as what you were.
What?
It may not be as tight.
No, it's got to be as tight. People won't accept. If I don't look like that at the end of the year, that's it. We'll do it all over just to start with.
Sure.
Yeah.
No problem.
Just to get an idea.
Yeah.
What this elevation in heart rate does, we're going to go up in heart rate, low, up, low, up, low.
Yep.
That's the best way to lose fat.
Fantastic.
You're going to notice really good results.
Good.
All right, we're halfway. Come on, push it.
It's something they're still scratching the surface on, but we do know for sure that breaking things down to use intervals, and particularly brief work, even 16 to 20 minutes of higher intensity work, is going to promote a much greater fat metabolizing effect than, say, long, slow, steady exercise for 40 minutes or so. Now, having said that, that might be for someone who is just generally overweight. But if we're talking about people that are obese, then just physically moving is going to be the first challenge for them. With those people, they've really just got to focus on moving their body mass as much as possible.
No, we've got one more set of this, another set of the extensions, and then back to the strider again. 3 times, so we've got 2 more to do. You go a bit slower, don't worry. I just want to get your heart rate going up and down. It's really important. Come on, 2 more. Push up. Go. 2. Go. 1. Up, up, up. Good. All right.
I'm only going to walk tonight. You're not going out tonight.
You going out?
Uh-huh.
Where are you going?
Unnamed restaurant.
The restaurant? You're going to a restaurant after the first day?
I have to. Okay, where can you go on a date?
I don't know. Where are you going?
Somewhere that serves chicken and salad.
Oh, you'll find that easy.
Or steak and salad?
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, I'm going to go to walk.
Is it a first date?
Yes.
First date?
Yes.
All right.
I'm not going to be able to walk.
You've got to tell me these things before you start. Anyway, let's go.
I believe I do. Okay, I'm coming.
Let's go.
I'm coming. I'll be there.
Oh well, so hopefully in the next few months you'll be doing more cardio then.
Oi!
Let's go on 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
4? You had counted.
I can see this is going to be a real problem.
A real pleasure.
A real pleasure. Fantastic pleasure.
Thank you, Peter.
People reach a snap point where they decide that's enough. They look in the mirror or whatever it is. And so the first thing, most people try and do 2 things first, straight away. They jump into a 6-day-a-week exercise program, and the second thing is they cut calories.
They have short-term changes that are not really lifestyle changes that replace the behaviours that have been conditioned for a long period of time.
Now, when people cut calories, what's the first thing that most people, when they go on a health kick, what do they cut?
Fats.
Junk foods, yeah. And that's a lot of calories. But what they don't actually learn is how to replace those nutritious calories. That junk food they've cut out, yes, you need to reduce that, but then you need to add something else in there. And that's where a lot of people get it wrong. They try and cut. And that's going to be one of the quickest ways to, as you know, binging and pulling into KFC at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and all that sort of stuff, yeah.
The last couple of days I felt really good. I'm eating clean, spot on, everything's spot on. I reckon, I honestly believe I'm 105. Like everyone's stitching me up at the gym saying, you know, oh, you're way out, you haven't lost any weight. I know I've lost weight and I'm 105. Look, I mean, you can see it. I'm lean. 100%.
Right.
Off?
Yep. 105, you reckon?
There's no doubt. If I'm not 105, I'm 106.
Okay.
I'll tell you now. I know my body really well. I'm very confident about this. Even if I'm not, it's really important to be confident. But I'm 106.
That's good. Thick thin. It's all right.
I'll be 100 by the end of the month.
That's 2.5 weeks away.
2.5 weeks. If I'm over 107, I'm going to have a very hard time getting to 102. Right on, huh? Right on.
It's impossible.
It's not impossible.
I can't have put on weight from yesterday. I spent 45 minutes on that thing.
Okay, this is
I
where
did legs. I put on muscle.
So the easiest way to understand what's happening with PJ and with Michelle is to think in terms of the set point. So the set point is the amount of fat that your body perceives to be right for you at any particular time. And our bodies defend that set point vigorously.
Say you've switched now from your high-fat diet to say something of a little lower calorie diet. What happens is your body adjusts and you start thinking starvation. You know, I'm starving.
I'm checking my weight on these scales.
It's not going to be any different. All right, ready? Exactly the same. There you go.
And so you go into like a starvation mode, for example. You might decrease your insulin levels. You might decrease your metabolic rate. You get much more efficient at getting energy out of the food that you're eating. So, you know, eventually you think to yourself, you know, I'm practically living on air. not losing any weight.
I have been so good today.
No, you haven't.
45 minutes of cardio.
I just explained to you haven't.
I don't understand.
You're not eating the right foods, which means you're teaching your body to retain everything.
Yeah.
Your body's not metabolizing. You've got to eat so that your body burns.
And it gets worse and worse, as you yo-yo diet, it gets worse and worse.
We call it weight cycling. And the suggestion is that a diet works, you lose weight, but your body senses that weight loss and makes you more efficient. So you require less energy to do all the things you do. So it's trying to preserve fat. And then you stop the diet, you eat normally again, so your weight bounces up. But that increased efficiency, that decreased energy expenditure, stays with you. So when you plateau again, you're actually plateauing at a higher weight than you were before you dieted. You do it again and again and again. And you're eating the same here as you were here, but what you've been doing is these diets have tricked your metabolism into slowing down. And so the balance point here is the same as the balance point here in terms of food input, but there's less energy expenditure up here, so you've got a higher weight.
Like I demonstrated, I ate really poorly for the first month into it, really. So that's a month that I lost as far as the amount of weight I could have lost. There's another few kilos there. So, that was a mistake, and it was basically showing that, I was addicted. It's scary to think that you can lose your way after 3 months, really. Yeah, probably. The last time we caught up with Michelle, or the last time I've actually seen Michelle, was about 10 days ago. So she's really wavered. Her attitude is she's very similar to I know what I'm doing, I'll get there. But at the same time, she told me she had 3 Powerades, 6 lattes. She had a whole pizza for dinner a few nights ago. It's definitely not what I wrote down on her meal plan. So now, by the time she warms up, who knows what time she's going to get here. We're going to have a 30-minute session instead of a 50-minute session. But at the same time, I can't keep accommodating her. It has to come from her. She's just going to quit.
The angle of your hips, has changed. So you're more what they call anteriorly rotated. So you come back this way. So what you're doing is putting a lot of pressure on the back part of your spine.
Will that curve correct itself?
Yeah, because it was a really rapid weight gain. The amount of damage that you could have done is not going to be like someone that's been like that for 10, 12 years or something like that. When you first started this, I thought you were nuts. I thought it was stupid. I've told you that. But now, looking at it, it's a good way to show people that it can be done.
Yep.
But most of the people that this is aimed at to get motivated are going to have been there for a longer period of time.
It doesn't matter how long you've been overweight. They want to see results pretty quickly as far as losing weight.
Yeah, look, I think it's important, but you take into account how long they've been overweight. Yeah. One, you're starting from a base only 6 to 8 months ago of being really fit, where these people haven't been fit for years. If they get injured, that motivation to come to the gym and to become healthier people, gone.
Let me just say, before I step up on here, I am very comfortable at the moment with my progress.
Okay.
Let me just clarify that.
Let me ask you one question.
Yep.
What figure would you be disappointed with?
Disappointed with?
Yeah.
107.
107?
Yeah.
Smash it.
No, it's cool. Am I over 106? That's bullshit. I have eaten. We started with my shoes off, mate. How far over 106? Am I over? Just clarify one thing for me. Am I over 106?
No, we can't say that, but you're doing well. Look, you haven't eaten all day. No, we're proud of you.
Take off a kilo from whatever you saw, because that's what I am.
I like you better. I just want to know, am I over 107? And you won't tell me. That wasn't a deal.
Yeah, that's part of it. Like you not knowing it.
Like, how far over am I? Just tell me. Am I 107.8 or am I 108? There's no way I'm 108, I'll tell you now.
That would be tough.
If I'm 108, I will quit this doco right now. I want to be 98 by the end of next month. By the end of this month. If I'm not, I will start introducing some form of cardio.
You want to be 98 by okay.
So bring on the cardio?
I'm going to go on a limb. If you don't do cardio this month, there is no way you're going to be 98.
You guys are a bunch of doubters.
I'm serious. There is no way you can get from your weight now to 98 in a month without doing cardio.
You called us doubters a month ago when we said you weren't going to get to 100 by the end of the month. You weren't even close.
1, 2, 3, and one hand. Go. 1, 2, 3, 2. And again. Have fun. Go to speed. I'm already anxious about my own progress or lack of progress. So the more sessions Michelle cancels, the more I feel like I have to let her go. The bottom line is I can't reach out to people and get them motivated to train. I can give them all the excitement and everything, and if they don't want to do it...
I don't think you can keep maintaining that over the next 3.5 months.
No.
It's more about initiating.
All right. I will initiate. Get her back in.
Time! You're in, Michelle! Yeah, double left, right, boom.
The thing is, like, I'm a fat person who hasn't trained for ages, so I'm going to be unmotivated and not want to train. I'm going to view the gym as this huge hall of judgment.
Who got you into the gym
Who doesn't
yesterday?
want to come in? You did.
And committed to 5 days a week.
Yeah, because you sent me a text and that was your last chance. And I was like, maybe he is committed.
That was my last chance?
Yeah. Absolutely. What I need from you is to understand me and motivate me because I want to lose weight.
Left hook. Boom. That's it.
You know what?
What?
If you want it so easy that I'm just going to sit there and go, oh, Michelle. Nah, sorry.
Left, right body, again.
When I put my back out, you were like, ooh, she's put her back out. When I hurt my knee, she was like, oh, she's got a knee injury, and you didn't give a fuck. And I'm telling you that I was injured.
Okay, let me explain something to you. And this is for nearly 99% probably of overweight people. They will look for any excuse to stop training. And the reality is, if you've got an injury, you go and train something else.
1, 2, 3, 2. And again.
The absolute willpower to train, firstly, and the desire has to come from you. If you have no desire to train whatsoever, I don't want to train you. Now that you've come in, and I've sent you a few texts and you've come in and you're ready to be committed, we're going to get along just great.
It's interesting that we're having this conversation with the gloves on.
Right in. Yeah, all right, time.
I reckon I'm really close to 100.
Let's do it.
I'm going to call it 101. But I reckon I'm so close. Do me a favour, if I'm 99 point, if I'm double figures, you got to tell me. All right, here we go. I've got to be close. I personally reckon you're under 114, but anyway, let's have a look. Sit still.
Dave, get round here and look at my weight so you can tell me later.
Just like I've changed shape, you've changed shape,
yeah.
And that's the most important thing.
We know that a huge amount of people who join gyms don't follow through. We know that more than 50% of people that start a diet today will throw it in within 2 weeks.
There's good research which shows that 90 to 95% of diets fail. So if you go on a diet and you lose weight, 95% of people will regain that weight.
You know, gym owners rely on the fact, and this is not their fault, but gym owners can rely on the fact that a lot of people will join their gym and not come. You know, the average active gym membership in Australia is somewhere around 15 to 20%. So which means 80 to 85% of gym members don't go. Now, a lot of gyms have got 5,000 members. Imagine if everyone rocks up tonight for aerobics. You know, it's going to be busy. 5,000 people in there doing this one, you know. So we understand, and I understand too, as a teacher and as a gym owner, I understand that people are going to make decisions that they don't follow through on.
So Michelle's been
been away for a couple of weeks with work, and I've been getting a few texts from her. Hey there, how's it going? Doing the best I can up here. A lot harder than I suspected, but have gone hungry rather than eat the wrong thing. Not much chance to train for the next few days, doing it pretty hard. Got pissed last night after training. Steak and salad for dinner, 3 blondes and some vodka straight. At this point, we've got 12 weeks to go. She can't be drinking alcohol and beer. So, and that's what I always say, the pain of her being overweight has to be so unbearable that she wants to get in shape. I struggled for 5 weeks, 5 or 6 weeks until I was able to switch it on. So it's going to take someone, I assume, with my help, at least that amount of time. So I'm willing to give her a couple of months. The belief is almost there. Once the belief is there that she can do it, and she jumps on the scales and loses a few kilos and feels good, I think she's going to rocket into 95 kilos. At the end of the day, she loves me. We get along really well.
I like to travel, yeah? And you say to somebody, wouldn't you like to see the Eiffel Tower? I can look at a postcard. Yeah, it's not the same as being there. But they don't want to travel. And I can talk till I'm blue in the face, tell them how good it is to travel. They don't want to do it. They don't want to do it. It's not worth it. It's the same with losing weight. If you don't want to lose the weight, don't lose the weight.
By the same token, when we started this thing and I was looking for someone, she came across as someone that really, really needed to lose weight for herself. And she's changed her tune within weeks.
She's the perfect example of someone who's happy. I mean, her brother owns a gym. Yeah? He owns a gym and she still doesn't want to come in. It's not like it's not because of money or anything. She's happy. Simple.
Does she need some major health risk or health problem to make her lose the weight?
Yeah, see, then you just go.
Because it's inevitable.
People live to 100 who smoke a packet a day. I mean, they know it's bad for them, but it just affects people differently.
Well, I think with her, she has to make the next move. Like I have called her daily to make sure she comes in. She stopped answering my calls, you know? Or avoids me, doesn't come into the gym, is scared of doing a weigh-in, there's no doubt. She doesn't want to do a weigh-in.
Let it go.
Yeah. I'm going to let her go and she has to come to me. And if she doesn't, that means that she's an example of someone who doesn't want to be helped. She doesn't want the help and that's okay. I'm fine with that. I can clear myself of any wrongdoing by any issue.
She's still talking about it like she needs help. She doesn't need help.
That's right.
She's happy.
My job is not to make anyone dependent on me. My job is to empower people to become totally self-sufficient and independent and self-motivated. That's my job. That should be every personal trainer's job. Not every trainer does that. And yeah, you're right. I mean, a lot of what we do is far beyond, dumbbells and barbells and treadmills and stretches. It's about helping people make better decisions. It's about helping people stay focused and motivated and disciplined while other people are throwing in the towel. It's about pep talks. It's about an arm around the shoulder. It's about, hey, mate, what are you doing? You're carrying on. You told me you wanted to do this, but now you're doing everything to sabotage it. Do you really want to be in shape or not?
Life is here and what you look like is about here. Yeah. I think he's had a much greater emphasis on it. And he's made that even greater because it's still about what he looks like. So I would like to discuss with him how he's learned to value himself for other things because he's said he hates the way he looks. He's ashamed of the way he looks. I want to hear more positive things coming out of it. To say, well, I'm making this movie or I'm doing this or I'm doing that, rather than I feel like shit because I'm fat. There's no way I could have got to where I am in life doing that. To strive to have empathy for somebody who's overweight is kind of a problem in itself because what's wrong with me?
All right, the moment of truth. Come on.
All right, now.
Moment of truth. It's so dramatic, PJ.
You've dropped the size?
Yep.
But that may not show up on the scales. Are you prepared for that?
Yeah, I don't really care. I've dropped a pant size and I've gone in a bra clip, so I'm pleased with that. Hoping to be around 1.7, probably not. So be it.
Alright, let's do it.
Sweet. That's all right.
So does that inspire you to come back to 95 by the end of the year? Are you excited about it?
Yeah, I've kind of changed tack a little bit on it since the start of training. To be honest, you demotivate me.
And I accept that
And
because
I want you to try and learn from that.
I think you've got a lot of a poor me attitude, and you expect people to go your way instead of making the commitment and saying, putting your hand up and saying, you know what, I need help. Help me.
Okay, you're right. You're completely right. And I'm completely wrong, and there's nothing that I can say that is going to curb you or get you to understand what it's like. You put on a fat suit for a couple of months, you've taken the weight off, your body's responded pretty quickly to it, evidently.
I've struggled with the weight loss.
And
did you hear that? I've struggled with the weight loss. I've struggled with the dependency on food. I've struggled with stretch marks. I've struggled with my loose skin. I've struggled on a daily basis. I do have the know-how.
You've struggled in your own way, and I absolutely commend you for that. It was my first workout with you. I came in at 115, 117 kilos, and you told me how ugly and disgusting you felt at your weight, which was lower than mine.
Absolutely disgusting.
Were you trying to make me run in the other direction?
I was...
But you were applying that to yourself. You suddenly put yourself in the, I'm overweight 2 category.
I was severely overweight. I was obese.
So dramatic. To have a fat client walk in and you go, look, I've put on all this weight and I'm really fat too, and I feel disgusting and ashamed and I've got to put on my jacket now. Do you have any idea how that made me feel? Or how that would make any other overweight client feel? You don't have the understanding to motivate somebody like me.
Because you're stubborn. You still went to soccer training, you've been to boxing, you go swimming, but you won't come to training.
Because I don't like training with you. I get better results on my own. We don't work out as a client and a personal trainer.
You don't get better results on your own because you spend a lifetime being overweight, apart from the 2 times you went to hospital because you went on your own diets.
And I'm well aware that the documentary is more important to you than actually training me.
No.
Or actually...
I've given you a realistic goal, Michelle.
And me as a sample of the people who are out there that want to lose weight like I did.
Which are the people I train?
Happy being overweight.
So you're happy being overweight?
You wouldn't believe how many people out there are actually like happy and walking around fat.
No, Michelle, you've answered the question for me. If you're happy being overweight and if it's not an urgency for you to lose weight, I can't help you. I have a number of clients, 80% of them are overweight and they've been overweight all their life. The difference between you and them is they're committed. I'm prepared to train you at any cost. Any cost. Absolutely any cost. So prove me wrong. She's just a different person altogether, you know? And it's now an opportunity for me to win her over and to show her that, you know, losing weight can be fun. It's not hard. It's just regular.
It shows a lack of understanding of the big picture. And that's what it's about. He's, you know, getting me from here to here in how many months, from 117 to 95, and he reckons that it's only by his way that, as he said, I'm going to achieve that and achieve balance. But then he's not looking at the last 34 years.
You know, and she'll have a bit of complaining along the way and she'll feel tired and sore, but you know, the benefits far outweigh the negatives.
And I was really hoping that by working with me, he would actually get a better understanding of an overweight client. I don't think he has. I think he's worried that I'm going to get to that weight without him. I think I can, but again, it's not my focus. My focus is not to beat PJ or make PJ wrong. I'm just trying to improve my relationship with food and exercise.
People hate to change a routine that they're into. And I think that's the category that Michelle falls into as well. She's scared to make a change in her life because she's got some kind of routine going on where she's supposedly happy. I'm worried about how close the year is creeping up, the end of the year is creeping up. I'm still not comfortable with how I look. For me personally, that's for me personally to get into a ripped state where I could go and do modelling. It doesn't mean I'm not healthy now, but I've always got that determination to get back to where I came from.
Oh, wow, you look good.
Yeah, changed a bit. Oh, I'm under 90.
Yes.
Come on.
Well done. 88, exactly.
88. Awesome. 88 kilos, 5 weeks to go. Yep, no problem. I'm there. I'll make it.
There's something called the Long-Term Weight Control Registry that's maintained in the US, and it's a registry of people who've lost weight and kept it off for a long time.
Where they ask them, what do they do? How do you keep it off? How come you are successful? These people are enormously vigilant. They monitor everything that they do. Their weight, their dietary intake, their physical activity. They do at least an hour, more like an hour and a half exercise every day. And they do what the dietitian tells them. You know, they keep their energy intake down way low.
That strategy works, but those people are few and far between. Something like 2 to 5% of people who try to lose weight keep it off for a long time. It's true that exercise and dietary change are the cornerstones of weight loss, absolutely. And they're the cornerstones of a healthy life. But in this world we live in, just telling people to do that isn't working. We've been saying that since the 60s, and obesity rates are still rising.
Moment of truth. Come on. 80.1. That's hard work. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. New Year's Eve, a 12-month journey, and what a year it's been. I'm back.
I just wanted to firstly thank everyone for coming and all the guys that have been behind me and supported me throughout the year. I really appreciate it.
What a massive year. I'm wrapped, you know. And to see like there's going to be a huge turnout and having a look at all the media up on the wall and, you know, it's like the year that was and it's crazy.
Men's Fitness magazine, we're shooting that in February for the March or April cover. So this is what I've done so far and I'm pretty happy with it.
Serious, chin up a bit. Chin to your left more. That's it.
It's quite a controversial move, what he's done, which is, you know, what obviously attracts the publicity.
That's it. Chin to your left slightly.
He's obviously a fit man, and clearly he's been an underwear model, so he knows his body, he knows his own physiology intimately. If he had a tough time doing it, imagine what everyone else has got to go through, you know, who isn't that in tune with their own body.
We're going to go now photograph a big plate of greasy bacon and eggs and... All right, I should come on. You can eat up. I feel you'll be hungry now.
This is a man who's gone from looking like you to looking like me. What do you mean? He did look like a fat bastard, and then he lost it all, and now he looks an absolute $1 million. And you need to get a look at this bloke, by the way. Men's Fitness is the magazine he's on the cover of. It's quite extraordinary. I can't ever imagine you being anything but a really, really fit-looking young man.
Yeah, well, it definitely started off like that, but as I changed my habits and started, you know, getting a liking for indulging in food and fast food, yeah, it was definitely stacked it on.
A lot to put on, mate, but I imagine an enormous amount to lose.
Yeah, definitely. I thought it would be a challenge physically, but mentally I totally underestimated how difficult it would be.
Oh, look at it! Oh!
Look at that, Willis!
Hang on, I better put the guts out so I look fatter.
Looking back on the year, it's hard to describe the effect the experience has had on me, and in particular my views on the problem of obesity. I gained a genuine insight into just how hard it is to lose weight, and also the level of commitment that's involved. But the experience also reaffirmed my belief that people must stay focused and must stay the course if they're going to conquer the problem. And they must make these changes lifelong changes if the weight is to stay off. I now appreciate how much is working against overweight and obese people, both internally and externally, and that's only reinforced the importance of sticking to the path towards your goal. Because as it stands, there's no other way. I think back on my experience with Michelle, considering everything I was going through personally, maybe I wasn't in the best place to help keep her motivated when her own motivation was running low. I still believe she could make a drastic change in her life when she's ready. Maybe our paths will never cross again, but hopefully the opportunity to help someone else will come around soon.
When I decided to come in to the gym and find a trainer, I had actually previously tried to lose weight for a couple of years. Like I was up at 160 when I first tried. I tried going to the gym, but I was always embarrassed to go. I even tried gastric banding and I went down to 140. But then as soon as you start eating again, I just put it all back on and I was actually heading towards 160 again.
The first time Dora came to the gym, I was sitting at the table right near the window, and she turned up in a taxi because she couldn't walk.
And I read an article saying that someone had put on weight and then lost, and I thought, he'll understand how you feel at least.
She said herself many times to me, this is the last resort. And that's a huge responsibility for myself as well, and not to be taken lightly. When we started those sit-ups, Dora couldn't do any weight at all on there. And now that was 35 kilo resistance on there, and she'd get a set of 15 easily. Thank you. So let's see, after a year of hard work and all the battles in between, 88.4.
Yeah, that's great.
That is fantastic. That's not great, that's fantastic. I can't equate what I've gone through to what someone who's been overweight all their life has gone through. But if my experience means that there's now people out there who believe it is possible and I'm in a better position to help them get there, then I feel I've achieved everything I set out to achieve.
Skip normally, okay? Yep. Do one crossover. Skip normally.
That's awesome. You watch what I can work wonders with this, right? Let me just say, the last time I skipped, I hurt my ankle. I was 120 kilos, and I hurt my ankle for 12 weeks. Ooh. But I still came to the gym.
How's it been down?
Jeez, you got to KO yourself.
Another injury.
Keeping fit can be dangerous.
That's all right.
This is how I'd get him. Now your turn. Wrong leg. Try your left leg first.
Put your stomach in first.
My ass doesn't even feel the same.
I came here thinking I'd do 20, I did 25, so I'm pretty happy. Now I'm going to go 26.
I love it, that's awesome. He can barely put over his eyes.